All right, there we go. Good morning, world. How y'all doing out there? It's your boy PC Prince Carter. Had to hop on here for a moment this morning to first and foremost thank you all for your continued support. King Prince Barbecue will be open today from noon till 7ish, weather permitting. You can now go straight to our Chow Now app and download the Chow Now app. You can place your orders online at chownow.com and King Prince Barbecue. That's the best way to go. That's how we can serve you better and have your orders ready for those of you that are in the area so that you don't have to wait too much when you get there. I want to be real clear on something, folks, and I tell folk all the time, if you want to know something, just ask, and I'll do my best to explain it to you. King Prince Barbecue does not, I repeat, does not charge for no sauce. If you don't get sauce, there's no additional charge. The additional charge comes with sauce on the side. And the reason being is that the containers that the sauce has to go into have went up drastically, and the labor cost has gone up. So you got to actually physically pay somebody to sit there and put that stuff in those cups. And it takes longer to do that. We still put the sauce on for free. Those that want sauce on it, you can get it on for free. Or if you just want to get no sauce and use your sauce at home, that's cool too. You have that option. But if you get our sauce on the side, there is an additional fee for the sauce. I've tried very hard to get away from that. The only other option I can think of is that we would have to give less portions of meat, which most folks don't want us to do that, and then give them the sauce on the side. But they would get less meat. So most folks want more meat. So that's the reason we do it that way. If those that don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. I apologize that your comprehension is not to the point of understanding that, but that's how we operate. Been doing it like that forever. So the main reason I opt to hop on here this morning is because I'm in dire need of prayer, folks. I'm asking everyone that has a relationship with God. If you don't have a relationship with God, this request is not for you. But I'm asking those that have a relationship with the greater being to pray for King Prince Barbecue. As you all very well know, we have been very hard working to secure these funds that were allocated for small businesses such as myself and others in this 11 quarters. It's been 2 years now. We've been patiently, waiting and trying to secure those funds. The federal government allocated monies for small businesses in our areas. For those of you who need to be reminded or refreshed memory, at the State of the Union address, and you can pull it up, March of 21, where the president spoke about folk that had defrauded the system and people that didn't have businesses who got that American Rescue Plan money for small businesses. And many businesses, such as myself and others, didn't get any of it. So they opted to rely on what they call local government. Our local government here in the city of St. Louis was assigned a task to identify small businesses, such as myself and others, that didn't get anything, who needed funding and who needed financial assistance in post-COVID. COVID devastated my business. It shook us upside down, and it's by the grace of God that we're still standing. However, there are things that we require and things that we need to move forward and to continue to operate. The federal government recognized that. The federal government assigned the task to the local government to identify businesses such as myself and others. And they specifically instructed them to start with what it was known as the 11 corridors. The federal government, not the city, the federal government made an assessment of our community. And they came in and identified these areas in our city that really drastically needed help. And those 11 corridors are all north of Delmar. Now, in the process of prolonging this, it has been brought to my attention our so-called local government is trying to find ways to circumvent that and eliminate folks from getting the money so that they can give it to the buddy system and their friends and people that they know and like. And I think that's dead wrong. And I'm really watching this thing very closely. I was told to be quiet or I'm going to be punished. But I'm not going to be silent because silence is acceptance. And I do not accept the fact that the federal government recognizes a need in our community, whether our local government, and mind you, let me say this, and I'm going to speak truth. I stand on the truth. That's all I have. I have not been able to get any of our so-called local elected officials to even converse with me on this matter. And that's pitiful. That's pitiful. I've reached out to the congresswoman. I've reached out to my alderwoman, and none of these people would even converse with me about the situation that I'm in as a small business and trying to prepare. There's another string of this madness coming through, and we're probably almost on the verge of being shut down. The hospitals are filling up again. We're in a lot of folks just lollygagging and going by and not paying attention, but we're in a dire need of some intervention to address these ills that are coming our way as it relates to these different viruses. And before I go any further, let me say this. If you're not paying attention, people, there's a lot of stuff floating around out here, and it's airborne again. So that's why you're seeing more people masked up now. They're paying attention. The people that are paying attention are masking back up because I don't know if it's the pharmaceutical companies or whomever it is. Somebody's doing something and causing this stuff to be back out here again. So this money that was supposed to have been allocated years ago was supposed to put small businesses such as myself and others in a position, whereas if this stuff happens again, that we can continue to operate and not have to shut down. That's the purpose of the American Rescue Plan money. That's what it was all about. Folks have taken their own agendas and doing what they want to do with this money and trying to figure out ways to circumvent. And that's the reason they prolong it. There's no reason that King Prince Barbecue shouldn't have got what the federal government sent by now. There's no reason for that. 11 corridors. Union is one, Martin Luther King, Natural Bridge. I don't have them all in the top of my head anymore because I know for a fact that they said that so many people had applied for this. Many who were not in the 11 corridors applied for it, which made the numbers greater. The federal government instructed them to start with the 11 corridors. And that's because those areas were assessed, and it was obvious, as clear as the nose on your face, that those areas were in dire need of help. And the federal government recognizes that. Now, why my local elected officials, my local government don't recognize it is beyond my comprehension. Now, they finally got to act together and came up with all these red tapes and hoops to jump through and jump over. And we've completed all that. And the money is just sitting there. When I could be on my mission to do the things that are necessary to continue to operate, and not only operate, but enhance my community, to make my neighborhood look better, to provide a better storefront, to provide taking up some of this empty space that's not being utilized, where they don't have to cut the grass and so on and so forth. These things would benefit not only just King Prince Barbecue, but the entire community, because it's gonna make the community look better. There's no reason with the type of money we're talking about that we can't build from the ground up on some of these vacant lots, which is what I've been trying to do for the last 2 years. Get this money so that we can secure the money and build from the ground up, and put things in place so that Rather than having to shut down, we can continue to operate in a safe manner. And that's what this money is supposed to do. But for whatever reason, they're procrastinating and continuing to allow small businesses such as myself and others to suffer. Uh, it's beyond my comprehension. It's beyond, and I'm asking you to join me in prayer, to pray that God touches their hearts, that God moves these people in an expeditiously way so that we can get these funds allocated so that we can begin the process of rebuilding our neighborhoods and rebuilding our communities and providing better services and better resources for our community. That's what that money was sent here for, not to be set on. Now, if they don't hurry up and spend it, sooner or later, the money is going to be sent back. So I'm thinking, and my theory, this is just a theory, is that they're trying to procrastinate so that myself and others who will fall to the waysides and be out the way, and then they can say, well, we got to spend it, so we'll spend it here. So that's despicable. I had to beg almost for the $5,000 emergency fund. They tried to deny me from that. And when I say they, I'm speaking in terms of the St. Louis Development Corporation. And by the grace of God, I was able to produce the necessary documentations and so on and so forth. And we got the 5,000. That was over a year ago, 2 years ago almost. The 5,000 was supposed to be emergency funds that we were supposed to get expeditiously. And then we were supposed to get the rest of these funds. And the president, if you would take the time to look, told them that this is not enough money, what they sent and what they allocated. This is the money to get you started. Get started, find out how much more you need, and send back for it. We should have already, in 2 years, you're going to tell me with the conditions of our neighborhood, with the conditions of our community, with the conditions of small black businesses such as myself and others, you could not have, within the last 2 years, spent those funds and told them how much more you need. That's pitiful, people. And so we need to find out who is willing to man up and woman up and stand up and not ask, but demand that these funds are released to the businesses. I'm pleading to the mayor. Mayor, under your administration, this don't look good for you. It don't look good for you. I love you, but it don't look good because as the mayor who said in her commitment, she wanted to help erase the Delmar divide. All of these 11 quarters are north of the Delmar divide that was assigned and allocated by the federal government, not the local government. The federal government said that these are the 11 corridors you need to start. And Union Boulevard, where I sit, is one of those corridors. And I'm pleading for the funds to be allocated and released so that we can be about the business of rebuilding our neighborhoods, rebuilding our communities, and providing better resources and providing better businesses for our community. That's what the money was sent for, not to try to figure out how to circumvent, how to get the buddy system in place. I'm not on nobody's buddies list, okay? Let's be clear on that. Prince Carter ain't no buddy to none of them. But Prince Carter is in the 11 corridors. Prince Carter is on Union Boulevard. Prince Carter is in dire need of the financial support. I can't get no help from the bank. The banks don't want to invest in our neighborhood. But the federal government was willing to do it if our local government get up off their backsides and do the right thing and get that money into the hands of the people that need it. Channel 2 don't want to talk about it. Channel 4 don't want to talk about it. None of the news medias want to talk about it because it's despicable what they're doing and the way they're doing it. And I'm asking for every clergy, every minister, every true person of God to join me in prayer, to move people to get this money sent and allocated to folks like myself and others who really need it. That's all I'm asking. It's not the city's money. It's not the local government's money. It's the federal government that has sent and allocated these funds that they are holding hostage. They're holding the money hostage to keep folks who really need it from getting it. That's despicable. That is despicable. And anybody that disagrees with me, I would like for you to put in writing, or if you don't want to write it out, call me and tell me. This is despicable. There's no reason for them to be sitting on those funds and not allowing people to move forward and prepare for this next string of viruses, whatever is coming out here, so that they don't have to shut down. Because the way things set now, if this stuff gets any worse, we're going to have to shut down. And that's why the money was sent, so that we wouldn't have to, so that we could have the resources to continue to operate through the next stream. Guess what? We don't have those resources because our local government don't see the need or care enough about poor black businesses that are in these 11 corridors that the president of the United States and the federal government has instructed them to start. They carry out their own agenda. They want to do what they want to do. Okay? That's wrong. It's despicable. And I'm asking you to join me in prayer so that we can touch the hearts and the minds of those people into doing the right thing and release those funds so that small businesses such as myself and others can continue to operate through this next string that's coming along and to continue to move forward in the days to come. It's the truth, people. If I said anything that's inaccurate, I challenge anyone to correct me where I'm wrong. I challenge anyone to correct me. If I said anything wrong, please, I want to be corrected. But they're not going to do it because I'm telling you the truth. Okay? So I don't know what it's going to take for this local government to do the right thing by the people in this community and the small black businesses such as myself and others. What is it going to take? Why are we continuing to procrastinate when the funds are there and the funds are available? We should have been breaking ground a year ago. But they're sitting on the money. They're sitting on the resources. They're trying to figure out how to circumvent to do what they want and what they choose to do with that money. That's despicable.